Well, it's that time. Finally again. Rich Rod is back. His first game back at West Virginia, and he is ready to destroy Robert Morris.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby. Well, we're talking about the West Virginia Mountaineers again today on the football side of things with a little friend, man. Somebody I brought on to talk West Virginia versus Robert Morris, Adam Borst, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I hit the wrong button and brought you on a little too soon, but that's fine. We figured it out.
Yeah, we're good to go.
So obviously this is an interesting situation. My X feed is not working, so that's a lot of people that aren't seeing this. But either way, I guess they can catch it on YouTube after the fact. So this is 17 years in the making. Rich Rodriguez has been gone for 17, going on 18 years. And it just so happens to be a Pittsburgh area team that he plays in game one. Kind of ironic, right? And then factor in that you also cover Pittsburgh. And it even gets even a little more ironic. But we'll talk about that in the next segment. What are your thoughts on just the whole situation with Rich Rod, the way everything went? In 07 with that game, and now here he is. He's back again with a lot of momentum.
Yeah, it's crazy how the world comes full circle sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's pretty ironic that he plays a team from Pittsburgh in his first game back. So that should kind of add a little bit more reason to the game.
Yeah, a little more intrigue to the game for sure. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. I'll tell you, whenever I was looking at your profile, I noticed you cover both. So you also have what is it called? RobertMorris.com?
Sports Now.
Robert Morris Sports Now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like West Virginia Sports Now.
Yeah, it's
Mike Osti.
It's all under the same.
Do you know Mike Osti?
Yeah, that's who I'm heading down to the game with on next Saturday.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's a good guy. Definitely know Mike well. He's been on the show quite a few times, and that's cool. So,
yeah.
Well, you won't lack for a companion to talk to because he'll talk to you the whole way down.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Whenever me and Mike get on a show together, it's a fight to see who could talk the most.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is an interesting game, man. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by, who is it? FanDuel, guys. Right now, guys, FanDuel is doing a pretty cool thing. Make sure you go to FanDuel.com, create an account to get started. That way you can get $50 off if you win that first $5 bet. You don't want to do anything. You want to go to FanDuel. That's where you want to go. Make sure you check them out. Gosh, this is aggravating the crap out of me. This X feed isn't working. I wonder why. Anyways, Robert Morris versus West Virginia is an interesting game, I think, because obviously both teams have brought in a ton of transfers, right? West Virginia up into the 70s. You said you're not sure with Robert Morris exactly the number.
Yeah, I didn't catch an exact number, but if you look across the roster, I mean, it's just kind of pieced together with a bunch of FBS bounce backs, a couple junior college transfers and whatnot. So,
okay, so obviously the game's going to play on the 30th. Kickoff set for 2 p.m. It'll be on ESPN Plus. This is the first ever meeting between the two programs. West Virginia's never lost to an FCS team, 25-0 all time. Robert Morris is their sixth time playing against an FBS foe. They played Air Force, Buffalo, Utah State in the past. So is this the biggest program that Robert Morris has ever played?
Yeah, first Big 12 opponent for them. I think last year you could have said it was their biggest opponent against Utah State, but yeah, West Virginia, I would put them above Utah State for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, Bernard Clark Jr. Has played against West Virginia before when he coached at South Florida, and he also was a part of a win back in '06. And I remember those Matt Grothy teams and BJ Daniels teams, and oh my God, South Florida, what a headache they used to be. And then he was also there for the 2010 Pitt loss. So he's been a part of quite a few different deals regarding West Virginia. Has he said anything about that yet?
Honestly, it's been kind of radio quiet out of Robert Morris right now. I haven't been able to really talk to anybody that usually would talk to me, so I haven't heard anything from Coach yet. I'm sure within the next week or so there will probably be a statement or at least media availability. So I think we'll have to wait a little bit longer for his words.
So there's a quarterback battle going on in Robert Morris right now between Amir Dudley and Zach Tanner, correct?
Correct, at least from what I can gather right now.
So is there any favorites as to who's going to win that job in your opinion?
Well, I would say from my opinion, Zach Tanner probably got a little bit of an upper hand just because he's been there for a couple of years, and Amir Dudley, this is his first year playing quarterback in probably like 4 years. I want to say he was after he got to Harvard, made a switch to DB and has been there for.
Whoa.
So like I guess he had an offer to go play. I'm not sure which position, but like university in England, but um Robert Morse hit him up late in the cycle and really wanted him to play quarterback for him. So
That's interesting. Must be a dual threat guy.
yeah, he won like quarterback of the year in 2020 in like high school in Pennsylvania. So he definitely was an athlete.
Interesting. That's going to be an interesting battle to see how it plays out. Obviously, West Virginia has its own quarterback battle going on right now. So it's going to be news to everybody who walks out on the field for those first snaps. We assume Nico Marchiol will be the starter for West Virginia. You remember him from a couple years ago in that Pitt victory. What do you think the Robert Morris team will game plan against for West Virginia? Do you think it'll be this spread, up tempo, fast paced running attack?
As long as I can remember watching West Virginia, just always a tough, especially under Rich Rod. I mean, it's going to be a tough bat. I think Churchill's still going to try to figure out themselves. So I don't know if they can necessarily game plan for something specific. I think it's going to be more of a try to figure ourselves out on the fly while figuring you guys out.
Yeah. So, any idea what kind of team this Robert Morris team is going to be as far as even just look at what coach does traditionally. What kind of offense does he run? What kind of defense does he employ?
So, last year, it was a lot more balanced than I can ever remember. Had three really good receivers, and then they also ran for 1,400 yards.
Wow.
All those guys are gone. So,
of course, power four, probably.
Yeah, couple. Their top receiver went to, I want to say, Tennessee Tech, or I think that's where he went. It was an awkward off season for them. So
How you lose a guy to Tennessee Tech of all places? I mean, I guess it's.
yeah.
I mean, they're both D1.
Yeah, I was that one made me because he had group of five interest. So I don't know how he ended up there. So I'm a
Tennessee Tech swinging the big hammer.
Yeah, really. But they got a running back out of UMass, Dante Wack. I think they're gonna figure out what they got with him.
I watched his highlight. Look, whenever he was in the portal, I watched his highlights. that kid can play.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
kid could have, should have went higher up than Robert Morris. Like, no offense to Robert Morris, but like I really thought West Virginia would have looked at him. Like he was really good at UMass.
And he got good size, 6 foot, 200. I mean,
Wasn't he like
he
number 33 or something like that at UMass? I'm trying to remember, but because I remember the highlights.
yeah, I forget his exact number at UMass to be honest, but yeah, he's gonna I think he's gonna get a bulk share of the carries. They got another uh FBS transfer, Owen McGraw from Eastern Michigan, but I heard rumblings he's going to play receiver and running back. So I think we're going to get a really good look at them. I think they're going to try a lot of things on offense.
Yeah.
Because yet again,
Swing for the fences, right?
yeah, and then defensively, I mean, Coach Clark, he's a defensive guy. Last year's defense was really, really good. Was top 35 in the nation and a lot of stats. But then yet again, they lost a lot of guys. Their top corner, he's playing in the CFL right now. They had 200 plus tackle linebackers. Both of them graduated. So now I think they filled in nicely at some spots. I think they brought in a couple intriguing safeties, a couple good linebackers. So I think they're gonna try to get after the quarterback, and be a physical team like Coach Clark, usually has. So, but yet again, they're playing a team like West Virginia, and even if they're trying to figure things out, still, I think at some point or another, they're gonna,
Voss
yeah.
is going to turn loose. So let me ask you this: last year, going into last year, did you have all this turnover? I mean, or was it a team that was already pretty set?
No, yeah, like going into last year, I would say the top receiver who ended up going to Tennessee Tech, he was still there. Their quarterback was still there.
And these were transfers, or were they already there?
So the receiver, he came a couple years earlier from Old Dominion. The quarterback, he was a local kid. I'm pretty sure he was there out of high school. I think a couple of the receivers were honestly transfers. The defense was a little bit more homegrown. So it was, but last year's team was definitely more set in stone than this year's.
Gotcha. Okay. So that was because I was going to try to say, well, you never know. Maybe you did it last year. You can do it again this year. We don't know what to expect from West Virginia. Obviously, 70 new players is a lot, 70 plus now that we got the 4 guys. But at the end of the day, we're going to have more talent. And I fully expect West Virginia to destroy Robert Morris. I wouldn't be surprised to see this game end up being over by halftime, possibly because of all the juice. The stadium's going to be totally packed. It's going to be the biggest crowd all these players have ever seen, unless one of them in the Power 5 before. It's not a surprise to coach, but he's not out there playing this game. This is Rich Rod's first game back. It's just there's so much. Now, West Virginia can also misstep and make some mistakes. You can also make that case. If we were playing a Power 4 team or even a strong Group of 5 team, I would have more nerves for sure. We play Ohio in week 2, for instance. They won 3 straight double-digit winning seasons. So, yeah, I definitely have my worries about that one. Hopefully, this is a little bit of a rock fight in the first quarter so that we can, hopefully that way that we can, kind of get some things figured out that we need to get figured out. And then hopefully we just pull away or whatever they need to get better because we've got a tough schedule coming up, which is why in the next segment, we're going to talk about a team really well. West Virginia plays Pitt in 2 weeks, and Adam just happens to know quite a bit about the Panthers. I reluctantly going to talk about I'm getting sick talking about it. Talk about Pitt next. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by Rugiet, guys. And if you got kids in the room, just cover their ears for a second. You've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis, maybe even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to get Rugiet Ready. Rugiet Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Reget's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast and on average in 15 minutes. Effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. If traditional options haven't worked for you, Reget might be your answer. Over 150,000 men have already made the switch. And look, if you want to head to reget.com/lockedoncollege and use Locked On College to get 50% off today, do so. That's Rugiet, RUGIET.com/lockedoncollege and use promo code LockedOnCollege for 15% off. Individual results are going to vary with prescription treatments. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but not FDA approved, and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rugiet website for full information. Don't do it now. Do that yesterday, Bob. It's segment 2. Let's crack open a do, man. And let me just tell you, I appreciate you for coming on, Adam. In
Yes,
segment
sir.
2, we usually crack a do. Do you drink Mountain Dew? My guy.
Yes, sir. I
Everybody give
do.
him a hand in the chat. We got a do drinker on our hands here. We got a Code Red. We got a Mountain Dew drinker. All right. That's what we're talking about, man. I've seen this a couple times here lately, just kind of off subject. People say Mountain Dew tastes different. Do you think it tastes different? They have changed the bottles again, the label again recently to that. It's kind of like a mixture of old school and the new school. I am a fan of the label they've had for like 20 years up until now. I've got like bottles sitting all over the place here, but I'm a bachelor. I always tell people. But yeah, I don't know if it tastes different or not. It's off topic, but
now that you say something, I'll probably
now that
think to
I've
myself that it does.
planted the
So
seed. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll have you'll be ruminating on that. So obviously camp just over with for Pitt as well. I got a couple questions for you, but we'll start with what's camp been like for the Panthers?
So
he's smiling. He can't control it.
well, I was more of a fill-in, but I do pay attention to him quite a bit. So I was down there for 2 days. It was a good time. Media only gets to see very, very little, to be honest, down there, and I didn't get to go to the scrimmage, unfortunately. So, but from what I've seen, I mean, the playmakers, they got some playmakers on offense and defense with the linebackers, but they got a couple question marks too. So,
yeah. Obviously, Eli Holstein is going to be the centerpiece of that offense, along with Reed, the running back. So, what do you make of those two returning after, these two are the centerpiece of an offense and a team that started out 7-0 and then went 0-6 down the stretch last year? What have you heard as to why they think that is? Is it tied to Holstein's health? Is it tied to other factors? Do you think they got beat up in the first 7 games? I'm curious why the Panthers faltered so far down the stretch last year.
I think it was just the nature of football, to be honest. Like, I do think, and, just rumblings I heard, like, they did get beat up over them first couple weeks, even though they were winning. Eli took a couple shots there. I know his ankle was banged up a little bit, but I don't think that any of them would use that as an excuse. And I also think kind of that's a big reason, everybody wanted to come back was just the bad taste in their mouth out last year.
Oh, yeah. I'll be honest. Do you remember the tweet where he made fun of Neil Brown, Pat Narduzzi? Do you remember the interview where Neil Brown got a bunch of hot water for saying, because it was during a bad part of the year, obviously, and they were like, I think he was tired of the same old press conference, the same old questions, and he was like, well, the weather was nice, like that whole thing.
I do think
and then Narduzzi put out a tweet, was the weather nice today? Check.
Yep.
And then from that tweet on, they lost 6 straight games.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy.
Sometimes Sometimes you should just count your blessings and maybe not say things because you never know what's going to happen. You could be on top of the world and then lose six straight.
Preseason win total for the Panthers is set at 6.5. Obviously, they have a tough road slate of games: Florida State, Syracuse, Miami, Notre Dame, and West Virginia. Which one of
Yeah.
those do you see as the toughest? And keep in mind this: if both teams are 2-0, College Game Day is going to be there. Like they've
Mhm.
already. Well, let me ask your thoughts on that. Do you think College Game Day will be there?
I think it should. It should.
Because Pat McAfee and crew are pushing for it heavy. So is Herb Street. So, like, who else needs to ask?
I
You know,
I think I think the backyard brawl
Nick
should
Saban's not going to be
always.
against it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it should always get College Game Day to be honest. But outside of that West Virginia game, I mean, you're right. They do got a tough schedule. All I can hear is, Georgia Tech's going to be really good this year. I mean, that's going to be a tough game. I'm sure they're going to struggle going all the way out to Stanford, but hopefully,
Gosh.
hopefully, they rally. But yeah,
Welcome
you're
to
right.
our world for the last 12 years in the Big
Yep,
12.
yep, yep. And then Notre Dame, obviously, always a tough one. So they do got to button their helmets and hope for the best down the stretch. Because I think the initial part of the schedule outside of you guys is manageable.
From my early studies on Pitt, it seems like some of the early camp winners were Holstein, Desmond Reed, obviously. Kenny Johnson at wide receiver is a big time target. Kyle Lewis may be one of the best linebackers in all of college football. Jimmy Scott Jr., obviously the anchor of a really talented defensive line, alongside Nick James, and then Javon McIntyre there on the back end. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think a couple other winners just from at least the days I watched and stuff, and just everything I hear from the guys. Katarius Hicks, he's a Louisville transfer. I mean, he's a smaller guy, but I think that's kind of what they look for nowadays at receiver. But I think he's gonna play a big part for them. And then I think they got two really good corners that are experienced and know this defense, and I'd say that could probably definitely be a strength for them this year. But defensive line, they do got some guys, but that's the one area that I haven't heard who's definitely standing out on a consistent basis. You see flashes from a bunch of them, but
Yeah. It's hard in the college level to be consistent every day, right?
mhm.
So this is going to be a fun game. Obviously, it's the numbers, man, just wild in this one. Obviously, on 9-13, you play this game after the 13-9 game was the last game that Rich Rod played against a Power Four team at West Virginia. Here comes Pitt, the first Power Four team they play on his return, and the last game in the series for a while. How important is it for one of these teams to get this win and leave with some momentum for a couple years? God, I don't want to be holding the loss from this for possibly 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's going to mean a lot more for a bunch of reasons, like you listed. Rich
Mm-hmm.
Rod. It's on September 13th. They don't play again until what 2029. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some extra juice in the tank for these guys.
Yep, for sure. And you got to look at the games before and after these because it could be trap, sleeper games, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Let's go to break really quick, guys. We'll do this one more time, then we'll put a bow on this one. Thanks to Adam for being here. We'll be right back here on Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Open Phone, guys. We're talking about Open Phone on this one because when it comes to Open Phone, if you're running a business, every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you needed a service, any service. If the first person didn't answer, did you wait on them? Probably not. You moved on, right? That's what I would do. That's why you need Open Phone, so you never miss an opportunity to connect with your customers. Open Phone is the number one phone business system designed to streamline and scale your customer communications. Your whole team can share one number and respond to customers like a shared inbox. No more, who's handling this? Right? See why over 60,000 business trust Open Phone. They're offering Locked On listeners 20% off with your first 6 months at openphone.com/Locked On College. That's OPENPHONE.com/Locked On College. They'll even port over your existing numbers for free. Open Phone is a great business where no missed calls, no missed customers. And of course, we can't go any further without talking about Prize Picks. This episode brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is already heating up and college football ain't too far behind, bub. Whether you've got your eye on big name quarterbacks or breaking out running backs, Prize Picks makes it easy to get in the game. It's your weekend. Prize Picks is offering a major discount at max discount level. Max discount number one. Name it. There's a bunch of different ones, but Avery Johnson's max discount is Saturday, August 23rd at 9 a.m. versus Iowa State, under 120 passing yards or 220 passing yards. That's pretty big. We'll see what happens there. The flex play is also an option in these games, which can be a game changer. Even when one of your picks misses, you're still doubling your money for the most part. So keep that in mind. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code Locked On College. You get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. But you can only do that at code Locked On College to get $50. Do that at Prize Picks. It's segment 3. We open a diet green tea, peach style. That's right. I've got one for segment 3 as well today. So, because I'm actually drinking this one. Segment 2 was just a prop. It was just a prop. All right. James Gregory thinks that I should have a segment about how West Virginia fans celebrate this wins this year and in the future. Well, hopefully we get some to celebrate, James. But yeah, we can talk about that. So, unfortunately, we lost a large number, several hundred people that would have been able to watch on X here. It just says there's an error. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I've tried to go live a few other times. Sometimes it breaks. Sometimes they have to fix it. Either way, this will still go out live on YouTube and a lot of people will watch it. So, but where can people find you at again, James? Or Adam? Sorry, I'm reading his comment again.
Yeah, really just on X at Adam Borst PGH. And then most of my stuff's are one site, RMU Sports Now, and then also contribute for Pittsburgh Sports Now occasionally. So
okay, cool. And you also have the website Robert Morris Now Sports, robertmorrissportsnow.com, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I appreciate that, man. I just wanted to make sure that people know where they can find you. So obviously, we'll probably talk again during Pitt week, but for now, what's your prediction for the Robert Morris game?
Yeah, just like we said, both teams still figuring themselves out. I think even at quarterback. So I think they're going to probably play both of them. It would be my guess. I expect them to stay in it for as long as they can. But by the end of it, I think the Mountaineers should be running away with it.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys pass the ball. That way we can then let loose Jamori Robinson. Because he needs to get some tape out there. And so we need to get him some tape out there, at least a couple games. That way he can go to the league. And then all seriousness, I think West Virginia wins this game, probably 52-7, maybe 52-17, somewhere in there. Maybe you guys get some garbage points at the end. This defense is going to be intense for you guys to deal with, in my opinion, based on everything Zach Alley does. Now, if I was Zach Alley, I'd probably keep it vanilla in week 1, but he also has a specialized game plan based on opponent every week. So maybe that won't matter, and he can throw his whole packages at Robert Morris, and boom, there you go. Either way, though, I foresee West Virginia, because of the juice in the building, everybody's going to be playing at maximum level. I will say this, watch for some mistakes from West Virginia. Wouldn't be surprised to see an early interception or an early fumble because of the jitters, like you're overly, you
Hmm.
can do that, right? You have to
Hmm.
be, it's almost like a boxer. You want to play with focused, or you want to fight with focused rage or focused intensity. I think in football, similarly, you want to do that. If not, if you're going too crazy, it's like, if you're running and you're swinging your arms efficiently, or if you're running and you're doing this, right? And even though you're trying harder, you're slowing yourself down. Similarly, I feel like that the football team could do that in football terms. So hopefully they don't do that, and hopefully they can just get off to a smooth start. Rich Rod's happy, and he doesn't blow a gasket in the first game of the year because we've already seen videos going around of him blowing gaskets. It's going to happen. So yeah, this will be an interesting one, man. But I appreciate you for coming on. It's been fun talking with you. Make sure you guys go check him out over on X. Check him out on his website, Robert Motorsports Now. Anywhere else he's at, he has the awesome luxury of riding with Mike Gosti to the game, so that should be something fun for him to do. We like Mike around here, but yeah, man. Overall, thanks for jumping on, and we will see you guys on the next one. It's going to be a fun game, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yep. All right, guys. Make sure you check Adam out on X at Adam Borst. You can just type that name in. He'll be right there. He looks like he does right there, except he's looking off into the distance, like he's watching a game or something.
Mhm.
And then hit that follow button, man. Like this video, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you guys later. West Virginia Mountaineers picking up early season win, in my opinion. It'll be a fun game to watch, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you check out Locked On Portal, as Brian Smith is going to be covering all things portal, all things recruiting, even through the season, and I'm sure he'll react to some games too. And we'll see you guys on the next one. For Adam, for me, we are out of here.